been busier this season as he currently paces the NFL in receptions. It's the Commanders and the Eagles, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we reach Week 15 and we've got a good matchup in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Washington team as they interplay here. They come in playing reasonably well. Losers the last time. Evan McPherson has this one teed up, and we are underway here on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. He'll drop to throw, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what
pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. He goes 67 yards on the punt return. And the Eagles will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. We know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Washington going to send out their punter. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Take it at the 37. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6th-year quarterback. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. This is caught inside the 15. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted. But it winds up falling incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Mixon. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. That caught by Tremble. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. It would have been a long kick. It was prime fake field goal territory. They faked it. They got it.
So much for defense in this situation because the natural play there is you go into what we call safe, meaning you don't really rush on that one. You almost concede if they want to kick a long one like that and make it, so be it. You just don't give up the fake. Yet they did anyway. Poor execution on the defensive side.
Second, they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Mixing up the middle. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Escape, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get away there on third down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Bernard, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a 1st down. The Eagles at 12-1 now to start play. And I tell you, it has been a few months now since they've tasted defeat, and they are without question the hottest team in football.
And I'm really not sure who's going to beat them right now because, to me, they have to be the favorites to go all the way because they're not just beating teams, they're dominating them. It's been fun to watch them play, not just in their winning, but how they're getting it done.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. They'll look to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. Becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Eagles have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And the Washington offense going back to work. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2nd and 13. There's Tremble, the tight end. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Nixon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Washington going to send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Fielded just inside the 20. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A big play there. He scored on a punt return, and now he's scored through the air. And the Eagles continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Washington going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 36. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. The kick by pass is good. And that drops the deficit from 28 to 25. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. They'll throw now on the final play. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this is caught. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And McPherson on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So we've reached halftime here. All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. First chance for the Commanders' offense now as they head out for their opening series of the second half.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They're going to look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll set up a throw. And he's got his man on the out route.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
An option handoff here to Mixon.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Commanders 3. Kenneth McPherson is set to kick off.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
That's complete out right to the tight end, Tremble.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
A gain of 12 yards. That's good.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
back at the 45-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
They'll set up to throw.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Eagles are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Back now here on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he'll snag about 5 yards down at the 32. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Bernard, and he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Now a handoff up the middle. Bernard, and he will have the 1st before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
90 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
On 1st down, Bernard, and he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 2nd down, Bernard. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to...
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game. But
thrown across his body and it's intercepted.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout. But you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game in an NFL.
And this is caught inside the 5. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Commanders' offense returning to the field. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds. They've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Back to throw again. Buying time to his left. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The kick by Bass is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions.
And it's a fumble.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 11-yard line.
2nd and 4. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taking it about the 1.
Here's Robinson.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off it.
He's got a man complete, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
McPherson on for the point after.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. In the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
So out comes Washington's offense to take over. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Out of the gun now on third down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches?
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Washington offense set to take over again.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively.
What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better, and try and execute that on the way out the door. Maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back to base. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. Second and long. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And now here is another interception.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Eagles come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.